Hey everybody, it's Tara Green here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine, this is the new moon in Taurus from May 19th, 2023, and I'm also going to use this and let your imagination go a bit forward to tomorrow or today, May the 20th, when Mars enters Leo at 11:31 a.m. because it's virtually the same configuration here. So what you're seeing there, this big square there, that's called a big fixed grand cross, and that's what's in effect in the sky. Now, I'm going to go back to the new moon in Taurus. Now, I haven't been feeling well, and that's why I didn't put this out so far. You can hear my voice is a little choppy. The new moon connected to the sun right there at 28 degrees of Taurus, virtually the 29th degree, called the anorectic degree, is the most critical degree for any planet to be at that last degree, and that is conjunct the most feared star in the sky called Algol there, or Medusa's head. Now, this is a much maligned star. It was very feared, and of course the Greek mythology is very patriarchal. So Medusa was actually a beautiful Amazon warrioress, and she was made into a demon, and all the powerful women are demonized, like Lilith and Mary Magdalene, because they're super powerful. So we want to change the way Medusa is looked at. Now, of course, this is a plethora of Taurus energy there. You can see the North Node here at 3 degrees of Taurus, Mercury at 6 degrees of Taurus for this chart, which is set to Washington, D.C. at 11:53 a.m., May 19th. The midheaven is 10 degrees Taurus, Uranus is at 19, and the sun and the moon are at 28 degrees. So this is a very critical, very powerful, very earthy, and also this is an incredibly rare, once in 2,600 years only occurrence. Now, you heard that right, because all the planets, and I'm going to name them off here, the sun and the moon, and Mercury, and Venus in Cancer, and Mars at the 29th degree of Cancer, also the most critical there on this new moon. It's still in effect right now, the 29th degree, Mars at the 29th degree of Cancer is like the ultimate Cancerian, kind of the warrior that defends the mother. Okay, so that's in a water sign. Saturn is in Pisces, Neptune is in Pisces, South Node is in Scorpio. Okay, that's basically, I'm not going to include the asteroids at this point. All of those planets, that's Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Okay, so we count them all again. Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Okay, let's just call it R9. Out of the 10 planets, Pluto is the only one that's not in a earth or water sign. And I did the research, and that hasn't happened since 500 BC up to 2100 AD. So extremely rare to have all the planets in traditionally what's called feminine, receptive, yin, water, and earth signs. And so as above, so below. It's critical. You can see there's the sun and moon at the critical degrees, plus Mars in Cancer, the most feminine, the sign of the womb. Venus is actually sitting at 12 degrees of Cancer, conjunct Sirius, the most beautiful star in the sky. This is the goddess Isis, really embodied here right now. Isis, the great Egyptian goddess worshipped as the great mother of all. And there's Mars at the critical degree of Cancer. So we really need to be alert about what's going on in literally the environment. The sun and the moon in Taurus are sextile. Mars in Cancer, that's an easy positive aspect. What's going on with the water? What's going on with the environment? If you pay attention to what's going on, you know that food supplies are being shut down. Fertilizer is being shut down. You know, Taurus is bulls, cows, manure, milk, food, resources, things that we need every day, our tools, our resources, literally hands-on, very necessary things. And in Cancer, it's also water, so, and home, and nurturing, and also Cancer rules the stomach, so it's food. Taurus rules the 5th chakra, so we need to speak out and use our voices. The 5th chakra is connected to the root chakra, which is traditionally ruled by Saturn, actually, in astrology and in yoga, and there's Saturn in Pisces as well. So Saturn in Pisces brings down our reality. Saturn always rules reality in the sign of the most unreal, the most imaginative, the most creative sign. And so there's Saturn in Pisces helping us to trust our intuition. This is really a big, huge, very, very rare, like a million alarm bell going, trust your intuition. Defend the divine feminine. She is being totally threatened, okay? And then, of course, Pluto is retrograde at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And then Mars actually moves into Leo on the 20th, like literally 24 hours later, basically. Mars moves into Leo, so there's going to be this very powerful then Mars-Pluto opposition at 0 degrees. Now, when planets are at 0 degrees, it's also considered critical. So the first degree, the last degree, the alpha, the omega, very powerful. So it really is about initiating, like Mars and Pluto rule Scorpio. Okay, so it's initiating a new scorpionic kind of energy. And any fixed cross here, fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, fixed means they're the holders, they don't budge. Okay, Taurus is known for being very stubborn, but all of the fixed signs are. I know you don't think of Aquarius as a fixed sign, but it is. When it gets into its opinions about what freedom is or about what equal rights are, they don't want to back down. And you need to be, balanced, right? Okay, so this can be dangerous for people in power, especially people who've been newly crowned, like King Charles. I know he has planets at early Scorpio, so I know that when he was crowned, this was all aligned with his son, and his mother was also a Taurus, so they have opposite signs. But anyway, it's all connected to the royalty as well. And there's a danger of war. This is a big, big war signature, and it is brewing in the background between China, Russia, Taiwan, all of that stuff, right? So very tense. So if you have any planets at the last degree, because we're looking at the new moon here, always a new beginning, new intention, any planets at the very last degrees of earth and water signs, because they will all be affected, or anything at, 29 degrees of Scorpio, right? 29 Capricorn, of course, Pluto's moving back into Capricorn. You will feel this intensity, all the fixed signs, okay? 29 Scorpio, like I said, 29 Cap, 29 Cancer, okay? So you will feel this tension really very much personally. Jupiter is at 0 degrees of Taurus as well. How did I miss Jupiter there? Sorry, Jupiter's at 0 degrees of Taurus, connected to the North Node. So Jupiter conjuncting the North Node, which I believe happens on June the 1st, is really all about us following our highest spiritual goals, okay? So I'm going to recount those planets again. The Sun, the Moon, I counted Jupiter, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, right, all in water and feminine signs. So it is not a time, coincidentally, it's not a time to move forward. It's a time to shore things up, to be receptive, to feel with your body. This is Taurus energy, feeling with our bodies, using our bodies for the next year. Well, Jupiter's in Taurus from May 16th, 23 to May 24th, 24, okay? So there will be tension, so be careful. Mars opposite Pluto is a big trigger signal, big egos, Mars and Leo. Be careful not to set people off. Be careful of road rage, of course, guns, violence, all of that is set to go off. The South Node being squared here in Scorpio, it's very similar to that last Scorpio eclipse, so it's really all about letting go. You want to hear the big cosmic flush for a lot of toxic things that have been going on, and that's going on everywhere. It can be also a big danger of a big financial collapse because Taurus rules the bull market, and so all things that are tangible, real estate, things that are real, blue chip, art, land, those are things you want to hold on to. And then Scorpio is about, things dying, death and resurrection. That is what really this is all about. And a big ego battle is about who's right and who's in control or not. Now, ultimately, nobody is in control of anything, to tell you the truth. Now, other things going on here. Neptune in Pisces at 27 degrees is also trining Mars. So there's a beautiful psychic energy to tap into here on the new moon. Even when Mars rolls into Leo, it's still in that aspect, even if it moves into a different element. So you want to tap into your dreams. Now, I know I had a really powerful dream the other night, kind of a lucid and very much a kind of a liquid time thing. Time is moving very slow and HD, so pay attention to your dreams. Use your imagination, but also be careful of where you feel you're being gaslit and where there's fake news and more illusion, delusion, and debt. So be very careful about debt, because I know how expensive things are these days. The cost of living seems incredible. I was just thinking, is it ever going to go down again? Is it ever going to be reasonable again? So Taurus rules gardening, so you can at least plant. This is the most fertile new moon. plant abundance. A new moon's energy lasts well. The moon is in the same sign in Taurus. Now it did enter Gemini 2:48 p.m. yesterday, but the effects of a new moon, technically, it's a visual thing, and you want to wait till you see that first crescent. So I'd say you have until early Sunday, which is actually when the sun enters Gemini and we switch into a new sign. So Lilith there at 14 degrees of Leo, she is squaring Vesta, the root word of investment, sitting right at the top of the chart there, and also Uranus. So again, this can mean that people can be casting blame and projection onto other people as scapegoats. Also, the scapegoating thing is very strong with Saturn and Pisces. I've been noticing that coming up. Saturn is sextiling Mercury, so you might find people bringing up old resentments about things and blame that they haven't owned or processed yet. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, she is in Leo, also squaring Mercury. So tap into the deep knowledge, like Leo rules the heart. The heart really knows everything, so just tap into what the heart knows. You can never go wrong. Ceres, the great mother, is opposite Neptune and Pisces again. Ceres in Virgo. This is about paying attention to your resources, your budgets, not going into debt, being realistic. And Saturn in Pisces is also about being realistic and being mature and taking responsibility for what you've created in your life, okay? And with Saturn in Pisces as well, Saturn trining Venus in Cancer and also the South Node, it's a bit of a wide trine, but it's there, especially between Saturn and Venus. It's a time to really be nurturing yourself, eating really well, home, so not venturing out of your safety zone, I would say. And Venus in Cancer is all about beautifying your home, doing some home redecoration. Of course, Jupiter in Taurus is all about that. So making your home as beautiful as you can. And yes, definitely grow a garden. If you live in a condo or you don't have any room, you can grow a window box. Things like that. Nurture the earth, nurture yourself, nurture your body, get a massage. Appreciate being in the 3D world, appreciating being in this beautiful Garden of Eden. So I want to wish you all the best, and if you'd like to have a special reading about what Jupiter in Taurus is bringing for your sign, I do have a special on now, a half hour for $88. So if you want to get in touch with me, I'm at tarottarot.com. Sending you many blessings on the new moon, and do be careful on the 20th. It's also a long weekend here in Canada. I believe it's also a long weekend in the US. Be very careful, be mindful of using anything dangerous. Mars rules explosive things, even barbecues, whatever, anything like that, and especially guns in the US. Lock them all up, I would say. And, listen to your heart. Mars in Leo is about owning that you're the king or queen of the day. Mars in Leo is about a new power, a new leadership, really trusting your gut instincts, really moving forward. And, Pluto is very much about empowerment. If you are on your soul's path, then Pluto will bring you wealth and riches. So don't be afraid of that, and let go of any old toxic shit. Like I said, this is the time to let go on a new moon and to create powerful, new, practical, and physical new intentions of wealth and abundance and health and beauty and romance and stopping to smell the roses. So sending you all the best blessings. You can find me at tarottarot.com.